What's up? What's up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside Ring Walk Danny. What up?
What up, champ? Good morning. Buenos dias.
Yes, sir. It is a great day, man. We had a fantastic morning show. A bunch of callers called in. Terrence Crawford is definitely a hot topic. But so is the welterweight division, and that's what we're here to discuss today. As Stanonius and Vergil Ortiz purse bid took place yesterday, and Golden Boy Promotions won that purse bid with a whopping $2.3 million. I just want to stop right there because when Regis and Zepeda purse bid was announced, and I think that was 2.4, right?
Yes.
And people were like, whoa, they overbid. I mean, Regis is a former world champ. Neither of these guys are world champs in Vergil or Stanonius. So I'm looking at Marv Nation like new player in the game, knew what he was doing, because 2.3 for Stanonius and Vergil sounds about right. $1 million a pop, give or take. Now I hear Vergil gets 75%, so he's the one that takes home $1 million, while Stanonius takes home $1 million something, while Verg gets home about $500,000. Now remember that we reported this. Stanonius said on his Facebook, this fight still might not happen because of this split. We'll see. Now that Golden Boy actually won the bid, again, is Vergil gonna take the low end? I do hear there's a possibility that he contests that split with the WBA. We shall see.
Which he shouldn't have any issue winning that. If he were to debate that, or what's rebuttal, right? I think that's the proper word. If he were to rebuttal that, he's a main event attraction. He's been main event, his last several events, and I think he is the bigger name. We saw Shakur Stevenson get that successfully pass through when he fought Jamel Herring for the WBO title, as Jamel was the champ. Yeah, I don't think he'll have any issue with that. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I will say, as far as your comments with the Regis purse bid, champ, at least there was a close second in this one.
Yeah, for sure. Like, obviously Marv outbid everyone by $1 million, but I mean, when you think of the caliber of fighter that he got in Regis, a former world champ, Zepeda, a guy that's been on, ESPN for quite some time, then you turn around and you look at this. Stanonius has been on pay-per-view. He's been watched by a certain amount of people, Vergil, yeah, like you said, he's been main eventing, but on the zone. None of these guys on this side of the street are household names. They're just not. Vergil, obviously, is probably, I guess maybe our own audience would argue me that he's more popular than Regis. I don't know. Would you say that?
I think it's hard to say, man. You talking Regis now, multiple-time world champion. But, it's easy for one to say that Vergil has the Mexicans and the Latinos behind him. And, from what we've seen, at least, we haven't been there, but from what we've seen, he does pretty well, right? Golden Boy's been putting him down at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas, and he's been doing well selling tickets. I wouldn't mind this being more of a 50-50 split, truth be told, versus that 75-25. But
I don't know why you would even suggest that. There is a champion here. He went through the due diligence to become that. Why should you be entitled to 50 as the challenger?
I mean, or more, right?
I think you overlooking that.
Shakur got more than, as the non-champion going into the fight.
Well, at least he was a champion in one division.
No, yeah, he was.
This would be disrespectful to Stanonius and all that he's done, which is accomplished more than Vergil at the moment. Like, what did I win the belt for if you're just going to take my percentage and give him half of it anyway? I won't even fight for that belt if I was him. If they do 50-50, that means Vergil did less of the work. to get to a title shot and receive 50%. Like, that's not fair.
Yeah, but now, I mean, what main event has Stanonius got? Right now he gets his main event.
He's in line. This is just trying to put a roadblock.
Yeah, but we all know that, bro. We don't know where this line is going, right?
Wherever it's going, he's in front.
Right, but
and they're trying to put him to the back.
There's only two names that are worth that line, right? Everybody was sitting back waiting for Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, right? Terrence just fought. Earl, we're waiting to hear from, but yo, like, I'm bigger than you. I'm more popular than you. I sell more tickets than you. You more accomplished than me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you bringing the hardware. I'm bringing the business.
Okay, so then we can negotiate ticket splits, not per split.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We've seen it done. I think it's I don't really care, right? The fact that Golden Boy won a purse bid, that's great. Make the fight happen now. It's not like I want Vergil to get more than Stanonius. I just could see a very easy case, you know. And I didn't even know that was the case until you brought it up, that they was thinking about not taking it and contesting it.
Only Stanonius insinuated that due to the split percentage, this fight might not happen. And that was before the purse bid took place. He just foreseen it because he knows how much he's entitled to.
Oh, so this was beforehand?
Yeah, on Facebook.
No, then absolutely I have zero concern.
The only person that contested anything, and it's weird because YSM Media from Philly that covers bouts, he's reporting that person, whoever it was, that's crazy, right? This story, this is what I said. Boxing is a soap opera drama, and I am happy to cover it, and I'm happy to follow all this shit and bring it to you for you, so you ain't got to cover it. But in a minute, we will screen share something, and I just want to give you some context. So this is the week of the WBA convention we were supposed to go to. It just wasn't in the cards financially to get there. It was too expensive. That being said, there was a representative allegedly from Boots Jaron Ennis's team that presented himself on behalf of the team at the WBA convention, but according to YSM Sports Media, that was not anyone from Boots' team. But according to Jake Donovan, who I believe is at the convention, he says a member of Boots' team wasted 2 minutes of the WBA's time pleading a case to be ranked number 1 at 147 during the heavyweight portion of the ratings meeting. Never mind that he's fighting next for the IBF Eliminator. So, according now to YNS Sports Media, he says the person who spoke on Jaron Ennis's behalf at the WBA convention was not a member of his team. Everyone was in Philadelphia today preparing for Karen, whatever his name is, as Boots was sparring a former heavyweight title challenger, Chaz Weatherspoon. We're good on the screen share, but yeah, so no one else contested anything, just Boots.
Who Chaz fight for the title?
Usyk. Nah, that was just a regular fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Damn. Who in Philly? Oh, Brian Jennings. Where he fought Vladimir. And I'm just guessing. Who knows where Jennings is these days?
Nah, word.
But we got to think about a heavyweight that could be in the vicinity of Philadelphia.
Joey DeWeco.
Joey DeVeco.
Did he have a challenge for the title? I know he
probably not.
I know he got work with the champs.
He got a lot of work with a lot of champs, but didn't probably fight for a belt ever. But, you know, his career is definitely not over.
No, not at all. Given that it was Stanonius that made those comments and it was before the purse bid, right? Golden Boy won the purse bid.
They did.
They know what comes with that. So is there any fear that...
But they can also pull out and lose their deposit, and at least they ain't got to pay Stanonius 1.725, right? Something like that? That's what they put in the chat?
Yeah, 1.725, and then 575 is...
it's a lot of moolah.
Stanonius.
It's a lot of moolah.
Yeah, no, I mean, bro, I know you saying you don't agree with the 50-50. I'm not saying it should be 50-50 or 51-49, but, you know, Vergil and his team could absolutely, most definitely make the strongest of cases.
I mean, I'm sure they
more than 25%.
Let me check Jake's Twitter, because I'm sure they would have done it already. Like that you was just at the WBC. That time is gone. Welterweights is done. We on heavyweight, and that shit is done too. We moving on.
You just thinking of the ratings, bro. Like, there was no convention when Shakur got his or when fucking Fury got his.
You right. You know? Touche, my good friend.
Obviously now this is more. It's just a lot more public. It was just a lot more public because, you know, we're coming together to do what we would do in private now in front of a group of people. Yeah. But, you know, shout out to the WBA, man. 100th year.
I mean, and let's be real. They're the same monster that approved a double division title shot. So if they could do that, they could do anything.
Damn, you ain't fuck with that?
Get that shit out of here, bro. All that shit, man.
But you know, it's something you've suggested.
I never did.
Except you suggested it as backwards. They did it right. Nah. They did it the lowest weight is the way you got to make. You was like, well, shit, if Tank make 35, but he got the 30 belt, fuck it. Throw the 30 belt on it too. He started at, you know. I'm like, nah, champ.
Yeah, because don't nobody care about the 30. We would have cared that he would have been a 5-time champ, like I told his trainer today, but you wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And his answer was better than yours. Tank been out for a while. Tank been enjoying life with his family. Plus, he was going through some personal shit. So it's just be too rough to get the 130 right now on short notice like that.
Oh, no. I'm not. I mean, this ain't the case. The case was Leo. That's when it happened.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying my scenario about throwing a 30 on a 35 was this case. So I asked Calvin, why didn't they just go 35 to make it 5 times champ? You know what I'm saying? But I get it. It's hard making weight, man. It's hard making weight.
No, obviously you gotta at least in the slightest consider what you got cooking next, right? So if you know that you're gonna be fighting Ryan at 36, who's been fighting at 40, you know what I'm saying? Probably not really a valid point for you to go to 30 just to come back up to you know what I'm saying? So I get it.
I mean, some people do it like Canelo to make the accolade, to get that edge your name in history. You know, you ain't got to do it. But if you do it, that's what puts you in them books.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to consider too, right? You just mentioned Canelo, and he's great. And he's done it successfully a number of times. But
at an older age, too.
But then, you know, he wasn't successful against Bivol. You know, we've had – everybody talks about how Roy went up, and – when he came back down after John Ruiz, he was never the same, you know, in those Tarver fights. So I think some people take that into consideration, but, you know, nonetheless, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I
mean, those also were different times, Danny. Like, back then when Roy did that, how many Alex Arizas did we have? And by how many, I mean, was there an Alex Ariza? Was there an Angel Heredia? Was there a Michael, what's his name, Victor Conti? Was there a... What's Devon's James Lockwood? You know, the amount of people that focus clearly on sports nutrition and you know, strength and conditioning and dietitians and fucking all that great shit that, you know, Ali didn't have. I could swear for God I've seen pictures of Ali running in boots in Big Bear. So, you feel me? Like, it's just different times, man. It's different times. But to each his own.
No, I mean, you're right. You know, to me, it's just like, bro, as long as I've been watching Tank, and I've been watching Tank before Mayweather Promotions, right? Before he got signed, I've been on the Tank. Bro, he's been at 30. Like, he was already at 30, and that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, for me, Yo, I'm a realist. Like, Gennadi's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But, bro, it's like you chose to challenge yourself and moving up in weight one time in your career. You know, it's like...
Good time to do it, though. He did do it for Undisputed. You can't knock him there.
No. I can't knock him for doing it for Undisputed, but I just wish he would have did it, you know, for the regular joint or, you know, for the Jamal joint. You know what I'm saying?
The Ward. The Ward was the biggest fight that never happened for him. But, I mean, who's going to remember? That's what I'm saying. These fighters don't understand. You got to be memorable.
I don't know, champ. I think that you don't think Dre gave us memorable fights in the Kovalev fight?
I think he gave us memorable fights, but I don't know that we're going to remember Sergey Kovalev, Andre Ward, you know, rematch 10 years from now. Maybe because, and shout out to Canelo, maybe because Canelo turned around and beat him, and that's his third loss, but that's also, you know, that makes him a three-time champ, though.
Fourth loss.
Okay, that makes him a three-time. He was a three-time champ, so maybe that's talked about because, you know, being a three-time champ, that shit ain't easy, man. Not everybody out here can do that.
What do you think would have been a more memorable, and this could be different answers, and a more significant fight to the sport, right? We were just talking Ward Gennady, Kovalev, Adonis Stevenson. That's a fight that for years the public clamored for. Obviously, that was at light heavy. We'd assumed that the Gennady and the Andre Ward fight would be at 68. But I was there for the second one, man. I was there for both the Kovalev fights, and I remember, you know, obviously Dre getting knocked down. I remember
that big shot. Shock and smile, raise your hand.
I remember being ringside and thinking to myself that Ward had won the fight, and it was a very close fight.
The first fight?
Yeah. But, bro, in the rematch, yo, I was legit sitting right next to Kathy Duva. Like, on the HBO pay-per-view telecast, you see me sitting next to Kathy Duva calling my mother like, yo, I snuck ringside. Look at the fight. I swear to God. Word is born. Yo,
Andy about to come get you. Like, yo, I heard that episode.
Who? Who's going to come get me?
Andy.
Why would Andy come get me? Bro, that was Rock Nation. That was a Rock Nation event.
And Magnum Media, whatever. This was an inside joke for you and I. I wasn't expecting you to really contest that.
Oh, no, I was just, you know, not really contesting, but that was definitely a Rock Nation event. And then, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if
he always makes me debate him. You know that Rock Nation is just a promoter.
Yeah, but didn't they have their own credentialed people? Like, they did this shit themselves, no? I remember they having
I went to both of those fights, but I was more of a fan. And by what I mean is, like, we were deep.
Yeah, because
we was chilling.
You had that legendary a fan appreciation night where you got everybody together at the mansion. Yeah. That was for the first fight, I believe.
Yeah. So then, you know, and even our seating, bro, we was with Abe. Shout out to Abe, matter of fact. He bought not one, not two, but 3 Kenichi Bear headphones for Christmas gifts. Can you believe that?
Yo, shout out to Abe, man.
Yo, that man is official, man. Shout out to Abe. But yeah, Abe had this huge section, right? It's like this section is that the T-Mobile?
T-Mobile, the first one.
And it like sticks out over the stands.
You talking about really high up?
I want to say like 1 floor up, maybe 2 floors up, but it's just like this beautiful balcony that sticks out. And they had chairs and tables. Yo, I couldn't believe a fight had tables and service. There was like a waiter woman. It was cool. It was dope, man.
So what fight was that for?
Ward, Andre Ward. I even got a live. I will have to look it up.
That was the second one then. Because the first one
probably the second one.
The first one you did the appreciation night.
First one was 2016. Yeah, so it was the second one.
So the second one was Mandalay Bay,
but don't forget, I probably still went to the first one. The appreciation night wasn't the day of the fight. It was the day before.
Oh, I thought it was a fight party.
No.
Oh.
No. Nah, Wilder was there. They ain't gonna miss the fight to be with me. Shit,
Oh, yeah,
I wish.
You right.
It was hella people there. Jordan Plant,
Yeah,
Caleb
that's right,
Plant.
that's right.
It was the day before, the Friday before, weigh-in day.
Mm.
Yeah, no, we went to the fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, going to the fight, it was like with 30, 40, 50 of us boxing heads. Like, it was crazy. We had a whole section both times. It was crazy. But he had, like, I guess it's the handicap, but it had tables and, like, aluminum chairs. It was beautiful in terms of, you know, service-wise.
Absolutely.
Because,
yo, I'm curious, champ. I gotta ask, and I don't mean this, you know, in no disrespectful way to Ward or anybody, but what made you come out for those fights? Like after, like the second one, I could see the first one was a good fight, but like,
I mean, Ward was that dude, and I did my best to support. You always hear me fight the same fight. Like, I just fought it this morning for Crawford. The same thing they doing to Crawford, they did to Ward. They try to say he wasn't a star. His pay-per-view numbers is bad. Like, look him up. He did like 170, 190. So I supported because they tried to say he was ducking Kovalev. They tried to say he was ducking Gennady. So I was on the other end of that argument. So I supported. I had to be there to help him show that he can sell out. You know, we wanted that Golovkin fight. I think the public wanted that Golovkin fight.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely before my media days, but that was a fight that I wanted as well. So,
bro, Shakur said it on an interview, and I ain't gonna misquote him, but he said, like, if him and Devin duck a dude, they'll receive way more criticism than the fighters that's out here ducking, specifically Pitbull Cruz, William Cepeda, who just could turn down fights, and it's okay. You know what I mean? Let Earl turn down the Crawford fight. Let Crawford turn down the Earl fight. Let Wilder turn down the AJ fight. You know what I'm saying? People will go ape shit. Right now, the Valdez fight with Navarrete is not happening. We just did a show announcing it. It's also now not happening. Look at Ramirez. He ducked the fight for a title because he getting married. Who doesn't postpone a wedding for a belt? You know what I'm saying? But certain fighters just don't get called a duck. And other fighters got to live with that stigma regardless of how good or bad they do. They never get the benefit of the doubt. But we are taking callers. The number to call is the same as in the morning, 14255695241. Press 1 one time if you want to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. We're talking the Stanonius and Vergil Ortiz negotiations, the purse bid, and the fact that this fight may or may not happen. It isn't set in stone just yet, that's for sure.
So I do want to point out that TGB, you know, on behalf of Al Heyman, came very close second of a 2.1 million. I'm curious, Champ. You think that Golden Boy just takes this back to Dallas? Obviously, we saw Stanonius there for his last fight. Vergil being from the local area, been headlining in the area. Do we see this fight take place in Dallas, in the Dallas area?
I mean, hell yeah. It's Dallas or San Antonio. Ain't that where Vergil normally does his fights? I think he does ain't he from San Antonio? But the point is, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. They won the purse bid. There's no other reason to give it to anyone else.
Well, no, I'm not suggesting that they give it to anybody, but you know, they could very well go to California, you know, Southern California, Los Angeles. You know, just wanted your thoughts if they do that, the more.
I think they're gonna stay where they've been having the success already. No.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm thinking Texas. I'm thinking Texas for sure.
Yeah.
So Vergil has
how many in San Antonio? I feel like I've heard him fight in San Antonio a few times.
None in San Antonio yet. He does have a few in Frisco, obviously.
Okay.
Well, no, just one in Frisco at the Star, and then he's fought now a couple times at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, and then he fought in his hometown of Grand Prairie at the Verizon Theater. That was some years ago.
So Grand Prairie and Frisco.
Well, Frisco and Fort Worth.
Okay, Fort Worth. That's right next to Dallas, though. That's
Yeah.
good there.
Frisco's right there too, though.
How many? Yeah, but ain't that like 2 hours? At least something, right? 45 minutes?
I mean,
It's
yeah.
definitely more than
Yeah.
45 minutes because my uncle lived in Frisco.
Yeah, I mean, just put in Dallas to Frisco, no specific address. It just says 38 minutes. But yeah, it's 30 miles for sure. But I mean, Fort Worth ain't like right there either. I'm pretty sure Fort Worth is, yeah, they're saying 30 miles as well. So
Okay.
about the same distance. One is just north of Dallas. The other one is west. Grand Prairie's like right next to all of that. Arlington is right there as well. So they do have options right there in that Dallas area. But for anybody who does want to call in, you guys know the number to call, 425-569-5241. You do have to press one time to let us know you'd like to speak and voice your opinion.
So are you leaning towards this is going to happen or what?
Yeah, I think it happens.
You don't think they walk away?
No, I mean they came. They knew the risk area and what comes with, making that purse bid and winning that purse bid. And I think that they do or they will have a plan in action to maybe get more than that 25% split. But nonetheless, nonetheless, shout out to Golden Boy for winning. And, I think that logically they take this back to Dallas area where they've had Vergil now the last 3 or 4 fights and continue having success. And obviously they're just going to need him to win because big purse bid, hometown fight, whatever, that means nothing if you don't get the victory, if you don't come back with the belt.
Absolutely. And listen, Stanonius is no pushover. He took on and defeated a tough and game, very rugged, arguably cheating Batiev or whatever. Butayev. So, I like Stanonius. We'll see what he does, and we'll see if, Golden Boy, like I said, goes through with it. But I will give them credit, man, because this is one of their stars. It's Ryan and Vergil. Am I missing someone?
That they have?
Yeah.
Nah, that's who they have. Sure.
Exactly. So, they had to have won this. It would have looked bad if they didn't,
I mean, shit, we felt bad that they didn't, try to get theirs off at the WBC convention, until we found out that, they had some other things cooking.
They were going this route, which honestly I don't get. The WBC would have given them a bigger fight with Earl.
Well, it would have been Keith.
Well, again, I think that he could have petitioned to be the mandatory, not an eliminator, based off actual fighting and fighting for their titles. Keith, he hasn't won a belt from them in a while. He's, ranked off old status. He fought a 140-pounder off of a loss. There's a lot that the representatives of Vergil could have said when trying to petition for the mandatory spot versus Earl, which would have given him 2 belts. But they are not comfortable going that route. They're not comfortable going that route. And that's why they didn't go the 2-belt route. But Boots is, and that's why he's going IBF eliminator, because he would have to fight Earl for 3 belts. It's very simple. They want to continue to develop Vergil. This is a good, stay busy fight with a tough, undefeated welterweight for a version of that belt that puts him in the Tank situation, right? Tank has the same belt, 2 divisions below.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting to see what happens if you're Stanonius coming out victorious from this fight. Where do you think he goes from here? Because obviously he's gaining a name on his resume, but he's the one with the belt.
No, he gets this win, and then all of a sudden he's more, marketable for an Earl, because he beat a hometown, rival of Earl, somebody that Earl allegedly beat in the amateurs, someone that the boxing world wants to see Earl fight eventually. So yeah, he's in a better position. He puts himself in a way better position.
Do you think that there could be a situation where he doesn't gain from it, where he comes out victorious, but his following's still the same, the phone not really ringing any more than it used to ring before? Or do you think that him winning, it's only a matter of time? Like, he beats Vergil, there's no denying Stanonius his opportunity, and that he gets that to prove it.
I mean, honestly, this fight is just a placeholder. He has to win, though, both of them, because we all know that the dominoes are about to fall. We just don't know where they're going to fall. We know those belts are going to be vacated. Whenever Earl and Crawford fight or don't fight, then Earl moves up and those belts get vacated. So, we're almost there is how I see it. Earl ain't out here making new shirts, and Crawford ain't out here saying his phone is on for no reason. It takes time. That Pacquiao fight didn't happen overnight.
No, it did not.
So Stanonius and Vergil find themselves as two undefeated welterweights fighting to put themselves in position. Soon enough, they might be the winner could find themselves in a vacant title match, for the WBA.
That'd be unfortunate.
I mean, at least he would have earned it. At least he would have beaten
no question about that.
a undefeated top welterweight on his route to getting it, versus whatever it is we are getting these days.
Absolutely. No, definitely deserving, but let's see. And let's see how quick, too, man. I think Vergil's been out the ring a minute. We haven't seen Stanonius since fucking April. So, let's get these guys
Yeah,
in
but
the
we
ring.
seen him in a good fight, though. That was a good fight, So he showed a lot. I mean, he did take his face looked bad in that fight, but
I'm just saying, bro, it's been a minute. Tank fought a month and a half after, and, his coach is telling you that he been out the ring a minute,
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, now that they've won the purse bid, hopefully it moves rather quickly in the sense of we don't have to wait another 2 months on an announcement. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, what's the earliest you think this can happen?
The fight takes place?
Yeah.
I'm not saying necessarily the earliest, but I think it'll probably take place in March. But that's what I'm saying. I don't want them
February, March sounds best since there's other big fights seeming or looming around that area. So it'd be good for these guys to get on the calendar right around that time so that they're free and available to negotiate if that's the case.
Absolutely. The phone lines are open for anybody who wants to call in and voice their opinion. Obviously not the biggest of names, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was pretty shocked that Golden Boy won the purse bid. That was something I didn't see coming.
Yeah, me too. That's why I said good for them because, it looks good that they didn't drop the ball with one of their last stars.
I mean, that's it. This is it. Obviously, Ryan is the bigger name.
Mm-hmm.
No question about that. But, this is it. This is all that they have. You know what I'm saying?
Anything else in the making? They got the Oscar Duarte kid.
I mean, Floyd Schofield obviously is there.
True, he's coming.
And he's already broken to, I think,
top 10 or something, 15.
Yeah, I think top 15 for the WBA maybe. So, look, Golden Boy definitely yo, I got to give him credit where credit is due. I shit on Oscar a lot. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. I shit on Oscar a lot. But, you know, they did the right thing right here. You know, they did the right thing, and I think that they put their guy, one of their two names, if you will, in the best position possible.
Absolutely. But since you brought up Schofield, and, you know, I didn't know whether this was a mention or a full show.
Talk to me.
But it's going to be a mention. Shakur JoJo seem to have agreed on a fight on Twitter. And, yeah, I wanted to know your thoughts on what do you think about that fight with Shakur and JoJo Diaz? And do you think Golden Boy actually makes that fight? Because you brought up Schofield, which is in that division. And if you're going to give a dude that's coming off what now? 3 straight losses? How many losses JoJo got coming off right now? You know, you might as well give him to an in-house fighter versus giving him to Shakur.
It's only been 2 straight, Devin and Cepeda.
Okay. So you might as well give him. And it's not Golden Boy either. It's Rick Mirgan.
Yes. Rick.
He's the one that.
Shakur on Twitter.
He's the one that told Shakur that JoJo would be willing. Then Shakur clearly said, yeah, we could do it. And then JoJo confirmed by saying we could absolutely do it. So, again, though, that's the manager. Do you think Golden Boy says, nah, we're going to give you, you know, good money to fight Schofield because we'd rather you lose to Schofield in-house? Our 35-pounder.
Yeah, I don't know that they'd be willing to take that chance on him just yet.
On Schofield?
Yeah, I mean, he's young, undefeated prospect, you know, hasn't.
But if you ever going to get JoJo as a prospect, it should be now off 2 back-to-back losses.
You said if you're going to get JoJo?
If you're Schofield, I mean.
Oh, if you're Schofield, yeah. Oh, you're saying Golden Boy be like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, they going to say fuck the Shakur fight.
And put their 2 guys up against each other?
Like, because again, I'm just going to give you an Olympian.
But they ain't never going to make that kind of money.
What kind of money?
I'm just saying, like, not JoJo, but I'm just saying, like, if they fight each other, they're going to make each less than what they would make to fight Shakur.
Okay, so you think that.
Like, think about it. If you're JoJo, you got 2 straight losses. I want to say he's probably knocking on 30. He's 30, actually.
Exactly. So how much money is Top Rank giving you off of 2 losses, bro?
How much is Golden Boy going to give you?
More than Top Rank, because Golden Boy needs your 3rd loss to go to their prospect. Top Rank don't really care. Top Rank ain't in the business of going half with a dude with 2 losses.
Yeah, but they know that they bringing a dude from somewhere else. That should cost money.
What do you mean?
You're saying that they're not gonna care to overly pay for a guy with 2 back-to-back losses.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, agreed. However, that's not their guy. So them bringing a guy is gonna cost more. So JoJo, I feel like, would still make more in that Shakur fight. It's a bigger fight for him. Top Rank knows.
I think he's going to make more money than he would in the Schofield fight, obviously, but he ain't touching the 7 figures. Like, he ain't getting $1 million no more.
No.
Off 2 back-to-back losses.
I'm not suggesting. I'm just saying.
I don't think that's possible.
I'm just saying more than in the core fight than the Schofield fight. That's all.
I agree there. That's not a debate. You know, Shakur's going to bring. I don't know. I don't know what those top-ranked matchmakers are willing to pay JoJo off 2 back-to-back losses. Like, they throwing you a bone by giving you an undefeated Olympian, former champ, 2 division. Like, you kidding me? That's a bone. You get that upset of the century. I don't know that comes attached with a big payday. I don't know. But let me see on my poll here. I got Stanonius versus Vergil Ortiz. Does this fight happen? 76% say yes. That's good. You guys are optimistic.
76%.
Would you prefer De Los Santos off the Rayo win, which is only a prospect win? Like, people are so overrating this win. Like,
For sure.
Rayo didn't beat any
And it's not
champs.
like it's not like
Actually, damn, he did beat former champ Vargas. Does that make you a contender once you beat a former champ?
Bandido?
Yeah. Bro, he was their WBC champ.
Yeah, how long ago, bro?
Bro, he was a champ. He was a champ. You got some fighters ain't even fought a former champ. He was a champ. Can't take that away from him.
Nah, I hear you. Yeah,
Because Luis Ortiz ain't never gone down as a champ.
What has he done though?
Who?
I'm just saying, like you just said, he beat a prospect. He ain't done nothing to get the fight. You know, I think at least in the case of Hector Luis Garcia in that Tank fight, you get what I'm saying? He did it once, and then he proved it the second time in winning the title and capturing that world title. So, I don't know, man. I think might be too much to.
But do you so you rather him fight JoJo?
I'd rather him fight JoJo. I think Dendelo Santos. Yeah, just because of the name, you know.
Mm-hmm. He brings more to the table.
You know, former Olympian, 2 division world.
I just don't know. I don't know how it's going to be received, though, with the back-to-back losses.
I mean, people are always going to criticize regardless. I feel like even if it was De Los Santos, look, Tank fighting Hector Luis Garcia, and
they called that a cherry.
They called him bro, people on the internet were calling the guy a cab driver. They didn't know who he was. Like, that shit's disrespectful. So, you know, there's always going to be criticism.
Damn. Shout out to Charlo, man. I miss those days. He bringing it back. And I'm talking Jamel. Bro, him and Zoo both said they plan to stay at 54 for the remainder. Well, it looks like just Charlo said it maybe. He plans to stay at the 54 for the remainder of his career, which is it's great. It's great, bro. That means Fundora gets a shot. Like, all these people get a shot. I don't know how long he's going to keep paying them sanctioning fees, because I hear it's very expensive to keep all those belts. You know? And then they got you fighting meaningless fights with mandatories that nobody never heard of.
I was going to say, could you foresee a scenario where Charlo... See, but he ain't getting those big, stupid, like, commercial fights. Because, you know, for those we do hear that, you know, they'll make exceptions and accept less than, you know, the 2 to 3%, whatever. Yeah, he's just not fighting like those big guys to get that, I guess, excuse. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to the Zoo fight. But again, bro, it's like,
you got to understand,
it's
too,
like we haven't seen Charlo since May 14th of this year, brother.
Like, PBC fighters get upset, but they got to understand they don't have a promoter to pay that. And they also don't have a promoter to take a cut. The promoter's making money with Al for putting on the show. He's not making money off the fighter. So, like, Devin gets his shit paid by his promoter. His promoter's getting a cut. Promoter gets a percentage. You know what I'm saying? So, it's up to Charlo, man. Does he want to keep paying him to remain full champ? It would be probably easier for guys to pay them sanctioning fees if they was able to get them hometown fights. Like, you know, if you could beat Charlo and keep defending your belts at home, every challenger, you staying at 54 and you just going to defend your belts at home. Defend your belts at home. You know what I mean? You probably wouldn't mind it. But if you got to go around the world, be subject to different commissions, subject to, you know, robberies and things like that, you probably going to be quicker to cut them belts loose. But
that's very true. Very, very, very good point, man.
Mm-hmm.
Very good point.
But in the case of Stanonius and Vergil, I am going to say I'm optimistic and hope that it happens. I am going to remind you to go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the show, as we've already reached our goal of 160,000. So now we're on the next hunt for 161. And we need about 950 or more, give or take. So go ahead and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because we're trying to do that now, or right now. And, yeah, catch us on the next one, as we got no callers.
No callers.
Making me look horrible yet again.
You guys are terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta find a way to implement Twitter Spaces.
Word, because Twitter
is where it's at.
Yo, fucking Chicken Talk while we were live had Stanonius on his Twitter space.
Nice.
Yeah. Yo, bring Bulk Danny though. That's GTO, Instagram and Twitter, The Boxing Voice.
Peace.
Catch us on the next one tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific. We out.